bring in now Tulasizwe Simelane. Good evening once more. Tulas, talk to me. What are you expecting over the next few days?
Sally, you're absolutely right. The Nasrec Expo Center here in Johannesburg is one of the city's most iconic venues. It is best known for trade fairs, the Rand show, if you've been here during that time, entertainment and even weddings, as you say. But believe me, there will be very little fun and games happening here over the next 3 days. It's a sprawl of a complex, Sally, with the main hall being Hall 6, being the center of focus over the next 3 days. That's where the main plenary session will be taking place. You can expect the mood to be politically charged, with various interests on full display, including in the signature way that the ANC does it through song and dance. Then there are several breakaway rooms that are already set up, and that's where, to quote Mao Zedong, 100 flowers will bloom and 100 schools of thought will contend. Ordinarily, at a gathering like this, an ANC conference, you expect the Economic Transformation Commission to be the one that's oversubscribed, with almost every delegate wanting to be a part of it in what many party members consider to be the most consequential of the sessions of the commissions. But it's 2022, the year when a crisis-ridden country needs solutions urgently. Well, it would seem the risk of the governing party being inward-looking is quite high. If the third ANC National Policy Conference in 2012 introduced us to the buzzword in 2012, the buzzword was around 2017. The buzzword was around white monopoly capital. Sorry, sir, let me go back. 2012, we were talking second transition. And if in 2017 we were talking about white monopoly capital and radical economic transformation, well, as delegates are starting to arrive from the heartland and the hinterland of South Africa in this city, from towns, cities, dorpies, townships, villages and hamlets, it seems the buzzword for 2022 might just be to step aside or not to step aside. That is, of course, a reference to the raging debate around the ANC policy that requires leaders who are criminally charged to step aside from their positions. It seems it was a jolly good idea when it was conceived in 2017, but after its limited implementation, some are no longer so keen on it. This is in 2022 when a significant picture of the cancer of corruption and state capture and the ANC's complicity in it has been laid bare. And that's how we kick off our coverage here, Sally. We've got our political coordinates set, and we'll be your GPS guiding you through the ANC Policy Conference, its 6th ANC Policy Conference. Good evening. I'm Tulasizwe Simelane, coming to you live from the Nasrec Expo Center. Let's kick off our coverage with an interview with the ANC spokesperson, that's Pule Mabe. He joins me to kick things off. And Pule, ordinarily I would be starting off by asking you about delegates arriving and the whole process of accreditation and how that is going. We'll get to that in a moment, but there's a pressing matter. Have ANC workers been paid now?
Of course, they have been paid.
All of them?
We have, yes, we have begun a process.
Their full salaries?
The full salaries for the month of June have been paid. We have spoken to staff representatives on all the other things, because some of the issues are really more internal. We're dealing with those. The challenges we face are well known to those that are in the employ of the African National Congress. We have overexpressed the fact that the fundraising space has shrinked, given the introduction of the Political Party Funding Act.
I've never been convinced by that explanation, by the way.
Well, I'll go into detail. Of course, even some of the issues coming out of the State Capture Commission, there are people who ordinarily want to contribute to a political party but don't want their identities revealed. The Political Party Funding Act imposes that the identities of those who make donations should be revealed. But
over 100,000 rand.
Yes, but it also puts a cap on how much entities could be able to give to parties.
It's been pointed out, Pule, that your problems predate the coming into effect of the Political Party Funding Act. Is this not really a case of this NEC, through its Treasurer General and the team that he works with, failing to raise funds? If other parties are getting donations, what's so difficult about the ANC?
Not necessarily. Donations? No. Remember, even if you check the donations that other parties get and what the ANC gets, including the obligations that the ANC has got. Remember, Julius, when you lose seats in Parliament, it also means that your allocation also drops. So there's a number of factors. In 2021, we lost the seat of government in almost all the metros. We just again lost what the metro we held, the Nelson Mandela Bay, through this a new coalition that had emerged there. It affects how much we are able to generate through our own caucus structures. But also, we also go out to ask for those that believe in the African National Congress to make donations. Remember that when I ask you for money, I don't impose on you how much you must give me. You make that determination. We have introduced schemes such as crowdfunding. And maybe it's something that we need to urge our members, because members of the ANC need to understand that they have got an obligation to contribute towards the success of their own organization, so that as it discharges the National Democratic Revolution, it is not compromised by the fact that it does not have a motivated workforce.
Do you understand that it's quite easy to have a reading that says part of the insistence on secrecy is by the donors, particularly of the ANC, is that the Political Party Funding Act and its disclosure requirement have made the quid pro quo of I donate and I get some tender somewhere very difficult?
Well, you see, and that is the notion. I think I was speaking to some of your colleagues from another outlet yesterday, and I addressed that point, that the African National Congress will never go and impose or force people to donate money to it. You must believe that the programs that the ANC is driving are necessary to take South Africa further forward. And those that have been coming, I mean, yesterday we had a handful of corporates that came to the presidential gala dinner, and we are thankful to those, and we are thankful to many others who still express confidence in the African National Congress. Actually, the mood has been lifted, the confidence expressed even by yourselves in the media. The fact that the media in this conference constitute 10% of the delegation to conference just shows how much the story of the ANC is of interest to the people of this country.
Are you saying to me, Pule Mabe, you as the ANC don't have enough members who are business people who could make donations of 99,000 rand, just shy of the disclosure requirement? Enough of them for you to raise enough money?
Perhaps
I'm failing to understand that.
That is a conscious debate we need to have out there. The call we must make to many others who are business people, whether in the public or in the private sector, that the ANC, through its own policy injunctions, has been able to create an environment where everyone could be able to participate in business. Businesses that in the past were reserved for a select few, today are being done by everyone. Today, Africans are in mining, they're in the financial services sector, they're in agriculture and everywhere. We have created this through our policy injunctions. Our appeal to the people of this country is that they must continue to identify with the African National Congress. And the ANC can only succeed if it is boosted through resources.
So the salaries of employees for June have been paid.
Have been settled,
but
yes.
it's at the end of July, though.
No,
what about the salaries of July?
That's why we are having conversations. You see, immediately we start to make the media appear like a union of employees of the ANC. It becomes a problem because there are people who are representatives of employees in the ANC. They are spoken to. We reflect on our challenges. You see, we are quite honest. The parties we are talking about are quite, they are not our size. We don't want to disclose how much we spend every month.
So July salary is not paid, but you are discussing with employees.
We are dealing with those, and we will be able to attend to those very soon.
Lastly on this matter then, Pulemabe, there was an interview you had on the SABC where you were asked about this question, and you used words like, the ANC is not, we're not involved in cash in transit heists or bank robbers, and it's been interpreted in some quarters as not showing empathy. Do you regret the way that you articulated that? Well,
it's quite unfortunate that it is interpreted like that. Let me give context. The question that came from the SABC journalist was that the same way that, but Pule, you guys are in government. Why is it that you are struggling to pay your people? Effectively saying the question, the quid pro quo, effectively saying, but because you are in government, why don't you make it mandatory for those that do business with government to give you funds? So now effectively saying to us, why don't you do what has been labeled as state capture?
Yeah.
So now that answer comes at the back of that, but wait, hang on. You are saying that the ANC in the past has been accused of relating with unscrupulous business persons and all of that. The ANC cannot continue to be seen embracing those relations, even in its own articulation. We sympathize with staff.
Right.
We understand it is the men and women who work for the ANC who have made this event successful.
Before I run out of time then, let's turn to the reason we are here, the policy conference. Talk to me about the logistics. Where do we stand at the moment? The arrivals of delegates. Do delegates have hotels booked, paid up, and will be able to take up those hotels and get accreditation?
Actually, as I was coming here, the report I would have received from our team dealing with accreditation is that everything was going quite smooth at Tefontein. Because what we did is that we had made allocations to provinces. And through those allocations, provinces were then able to consolidate and constitute their own delegations. So coming to the policy conference, there would have been pre-registration, which made life much easier. I mean, we went now to Gate D at FNB. It didn't take us more than 5 minutes to get our card.
I can attest to that. It was quick.
It was quite quick. So this now speaks to the efficiency of an organization such as the African National Congress. You can even see here, you don't have too much traffic.
Yeah.
Everything is organized. Look at, very quickly we arranged to have you guys construct your makeshift studio here.
Yeah.
Because we had engaged with almost all media outlets. We've got about 7 studios here running.
Yeah.
Almost all major media houses in the country have got their studios set up. We've got a media lounge, we've got a press room. All those things have been done.
Pule, I do need to take a quick break, but I want to be fair to you because I do want, as much as you indulged me on the question that I had around the payment, non-payment of salaries, I did promise that we will focus on the policy conference itself. So let me take that quick break, and then in a moment I will conclude my conversation with Pulemabe, who speaks on behalf of the ANC. This is South Africa Tonight, coming to you live from the 6th ANC Policy Conference at the Nasrec Expo Center. More still to come, including a conversation with political analyst Ibrahim Fakir. All of that ahead here on ENCA.